introduction about the line coding. So anyone, what is line coding? Anyone can say what is line coding? What is the requirement of the line coding? In the line coding, or before come to the line coding, just how do we do it, or how do we do normally using the PCM, DPCM, or delta modulation? What is the output of the PCM, DPCM, and DM, delta modulation? Tell me.
Sir, a staircase like signal?
Uh,
I don't think
we
so.
So
it is not
binary
signal,
binary messages.
binary sequences, not message. It's called the sequence. Okay, that you are correct. It is a binary sequence we are getting, nothing else. Only combination of 0 and 1 will get using these three schemes. So now that 0 and 1, it cannot be transmitted through a channel. So before transmitting that sequence, what we need to do? Give the electrical shape to the binary sequence. Okay. So that means now when we get a elliptical shape of a signal, then we can transmit through the channel, because through the channel we can transmit a signal, not just 0 and 1. Okay. So that thing is the line coding. There are different type of line coding is there. The next thing that in the line coding, what we are doing, the digital data is represented by the baseband data format known as line coding. Basically, as I told yesterday, whatever the bit sequence we have, when you want to transmit those bit sequence through the channel, we need to give a electrical representation of those data, and that is called the line coding codes or line coding. Okay, so this is the one. In this figure, it is little bit, I think, understandable that how the data is converting, because you see, there is a sender is there. The sender is generating some data sequence, which is the digital data, and it is going to the encoder. So output of the encoder it is providing, and the encoder basically is a line encoder. So it is the output of the encoder, it will be the digital signal, and then at the receiver there is a decoder. So when it will decode the digital data, and it will go to the receiver. Okay. So basically, which type of shape will be the waveform? So whenever we talk about this waveform over there in the channel, so how should be the shape of those waveforms? Okay. So basically, this is on overview for information of the RF signal transmission. So, and in these examples, you can see the line coding. So different type of line coding, pulse shaping is there. Okay, and so we will concentrate on the line coding. This is also first examples of the pulse shaping. Okay, so before going into the line coding, so few things we need to know, because that thing will be used later on. So basically, what is the data rate? Basic data rate is the how many bits is transmitting in 1 second. And if we represent the RB is the data rate, and the bit period is TB, then RB equal to 1 by TB. So basically, it is the data rate is commonly referred to the channel capacity. So in communication, in digital communication system also, sometimes we use the symbols instead of bits. So symbols, when in the symbols there is a single bit is there, it's called the binary. And when there is a group of bits is there, then it is called the symbols, or multi-level symbols, you can say. Okay. So now, what is the symbol rate? The symbol rate RS, it's also equal to 1 by TS, where the TS is the symbol period. Okay, and this symbol rate also called as a baud rate. Okay, and what is the relation between the symbol rates and the data rate? So definitely the data rate will be higher than the symbols rate, because in the symbols rate we are considering the symbols. Okay, so in a symbols there is a possibility that more number of bits present in a single symbols, so data rate will increase. So that means we can write RB equal to RS into log 2 base eta. Basically you can write the value of L over here. Okay, so L is the number of levels in the quantization level. So basically that's equal to RS into N, where N represent how many bits is there in a on symbols. N is the number of bits per symbols. Okay. So now we know what is the SNR, and normally in digital communication system, instead of your signal to noise ratio, we use energy per bit to noise ratio, means how many energy is transmitting per bit to the noise ratio. So if we want to calculate the energy per bit to the noise ratio, that will be represented by the EB by N naught. What is the EB? EB is the energy per bit, and the unit for that equal to joule per bit. Okay, N naught is the your noise spectrum density for the bandwidth of B. Same. So what should be the noise power? So noise power N equal to N naught into B. We know previously we solved those things. Okay, and if A is equal to the total signal power and RB equal to your bit rate, then we can calculate what is the value of EB, and what should be the value of EB? EB will be equal to S divided by RB. So that is your bit rate, means energy per bit, and N is the noise power. So now if we want to calculate what should be the value for E naught, EB by N naught. So normally what is there, that EB by N we are calculating in this format. So EB by N, that's equal to S by RB dot N. Yes or no? And we can find out the SNR value. Okay, so SNR value is how much? The SNR. So basically S equal to RB into EB. So RB into EB is written, and the noise value equal to N equal to N naught into B. So that will give us the SNR value. So now we are representing the relation between the year. In this expression, we'll find the what is the relation between this EB by N naught and S by N. So EB by S naught equal to, we can write this equation signal power by bit rate. So basically it will come S by RB already we have seen, and N naught that's equal to N by B. So now if you want to calculate the EB by N naught, so we have to write the EB value, and EB equal to S by RB, and N naught equal to N by B. So if we rearrange that terms over there, so what we will get? We will get S by N into B by RB. So S by N is called the signal to noise ratio, and B by RB is called the processing gain. So how much gain is there due to the processing is that, so we'll get some processing gain over there when we calculating the ratio of energy per bit and noise spectrum. EB also, and we know there is a relation between your RB and RS. So RB and RS or means RB and RS, there is a relation. And if we know the RB value, we know the TB value, bit duration. So basically in this expression, so we can write the EB equal to P signal into TS. Can we write this or not? Can we write this thing? The EB equal to P into ST. So P is the, what is the P? Signal power, and TS equal to your symbol period. Already we discussed. So basically EB by N naught is commonly used as a parameter variable in establishing the bit rate parameter for all modulation scheme. That means, as I told, for the digital modulation, when we calculate the how efficient that modulation techniques, so we that time we will see there is a relation between the EB by N naught. So we will find out those parameters for all different type of modulation using these terms. So how this term is related, you have to know a little bit about this. So that's why I make there is a few slides regarding that. Okay. Now line coding. So basically line coding is divided into 5 categories. Okay. And first is your unipolar, polar, bipolar, multi-level and multi-transition. So basically these last two will not that much of interest of this, and along with these 3 type of classification of line coding, we also see how the Manchester coding is work. Manchester coding also we will discuss. So already we discussed about this. Okay. So first one is the binary unipolar RZ and NRZ. What is the meaning by the RZ by NRZ? Anyone? Have you heard about the RZ by NRZ? RZ basically your return to 0. NRZ is the non-return to 0. Okay. So now this is the binary unipolar RZ and NRZ symbols, which is also called as a on-off king. Okay. So on-off king fails when we'll talk about the digital communication means modulation technique, we'll see there is a on-off key modulation technique is there. Okay. So in this unipolar by name, there will be only one polarity. Okay. And what is the polarity? Normally we consider the plus value for 1 and 0 for the 0 volt for the no pulse or 0. Okay. And RZ means, suppose P value, normally what do you know, whenever the bit on is there, for the whole bit duration or the signal is there. So if this is your this portion up to from this point to this point, if it is a energetic technique, so what will happen in that case? Suppose we are transmitting this sequence 1 0 1 1 0 1 0. Okay. In this sequence, what will happen when we are transmitting the RZ NRZ? So for whole duration of the symbols period or bit period, the signal will be there. So that means it will start from here and it will end over there. In the case of NRZ, then next symbols is 0, so it will goes to 0. Again it is 1, so it will continue up to this. Again next bit equal to 1, so it will again continue. So that means in this portion we will get the shape from like this. Okay. Actually, one thing is that just let me know. There is a cursor is there. Can you see that cursor when I'm moving?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means whenever there is a two consecutive one is there, this one and this one. So that means it will make a shape like that. Again 0, that means it will no pulse. Again on this. So this is the procedure for the non-return to 0. In the non-return to 0, the signal is not returning to the 0 point at any intermediate point of TS symbols. Okay. Now in case of RZ, what is there? So it will return to 0, and normally the return point is the half bit duration or symbol duration basically. So we start from here because this is the one, so it will take high value. Then when it will these two at the middle of the symbol periods, it will goes to 0. So it will goes to 0. Then it will continue up to the end of the symbol period. So since it is coming to 0 at the middle of your symbols period, it is called the return to 0. Is that clear? What is the difference between the NRZ and RZ?
Why
I
are we
hope. Huh?
why are we doing this? Like we're returning to 0 and not returning.
So that advantage when we discuss the next different type of your coding and the advantage and
Sir?
disadvantage of these two. Yes.
Can we tell that as the signal is staying high for less period of time in RZ case, the power transmitted is less or power usage is less?
Yes, that is there. So these are the advantage that why we use the RZ value. Because you see, uh, if you just recall the time division multiplexing, so what we do, we never take means in the time division multiplexing for a microsecond time of that or millisecond time of that, the signal we have taken for the fraction of time. So if we want to take the whole bit duration, the energy will be more. Because energy is basically how much area covered by this signal. So we can reduce the signal by doing the RZ. Okay. So now this is the difference between the RZ and NRZ. So what are the advantages of your unipolar? So for the unipolar, it is the simplicity. It is very simple because you see when you talk about the NRZ, we need not to think. For that, when there is a one, we have to transmit a signal power, say 5 volt. So A is some amplitude of the voltage, and this voltage normally for the digital system, we consider this is the 5 volt. So someone may take it is the 4 volt or 3.2 volt, depending on the which type of device or module you are using over there, and does not require a lot of bandwidth. So in this case, the bandwidth requirement is less. What are the disadvantages over there? So in this case, there will be a DC presence of the DC level. So unipolar case, so if we see, there will be the presence of the DC level. And it contain low frequency component. So that means in this signal, there will be few low frequency component which is intention to drop the or leads to drop the signal strength. So that means there will be a distortion due to the low frequency component. And in this coding system, there is a no clock synchronization is there at the receiver. Since there is a no clock synchronization is there, when that signal will reach at the receiver, there is a difficulty to synchronize or getting the data, because whenever we want start to get or recover the data at the receiver, we require a starting point. Since there is a no synchronization bit or synchronization clock is there, so there is a difficulty to find the starting point. Okay, and if there is a long string of either continuous 0 or continuous 1, so in that case, there will be problem at the receiver to identify the bit sequence is end or not. Because you see, if there is a constant 0 is there, okay, and we have seen in this unipolar case, when there is a 1, we are transmitting signal. When there is a 0, we are not sending any signal. So now, suppose this sequence is over. After that, there is a no signal. So that means we are not no signal. That means after that point, we are not transmitting any digital bits. But in the system, when it is present in the system, what it will do? It will continuously send a blank spot, which is considered as a 0 bit. So that means we cannot identify where is our end of the bit sequence. There is one difficulty. Okay. So now in this figure, you will see how the dropping problem is happening over there. Normally, suppose this is the sequence we have considered, and the corresponding NRJ value is this. Okay. So now since there is a SC component is there, the low frequency component in this waveform, so there is a distortion, dropping distortion for the symbols. Okay. So this is the problem, that due to this it will goes to the 0 value. Okay. So now we will discuss about the bipolar, binary polar RZ and NRZ. So since it is a polar, that means there will be two polarity. One polarity is used for your 1, and second polarity or other polarity used for your 0. Okay. So basically that state 0 is the pulse of amplitude of plus A, and when we are sending 0, then in that case pulse of amplitude minus A. So two magnitude we have considered, and this is the symbol period, and it is similar to your unipolar except one thing, that is in case of unipolar there was a no signal, but in case of polar we are sending -1. That is the difference between your unipolar and polar. So now what is the advantage over there? Simplicity, no DC component. Okay. And what is the disadvantage? Because you see, in case of unipolar, if we calculate the total value of this waveform, then what we will get? We will get a DC level like over there. Okay. But in case of polar, what will happen? This value and this value normally it will cancel out, and so there will be no DC component. And it is also simple. Okay. So it is the similar to the previous unipolar. There is a content of low frequency, and which lead the signal dropping, as well as there is no clock for synchronization at the receiver. And no, also there is another problem, disadvantage is that no error correction capability. So we cannot correct the error. If there is any error, we cannot correct that thing, the correction. Okay, so this is the your binary polar. So if we see the binary polar, the power spectrum density for your binary for any symbols, it will be look like that. So now if we see the maximum power is 0, because since it is your rectangular pulse we can consider, and for that when we calculate the power spectrum, power, okay, and the figure is look like that. Okay, and from this figure we can see there is a no DC component. Is that clear? The power spectrum density, and what is the maximum value of that? It will be TB by 4. Okay.
Sir, how you calculated that power spectrum?
Power spectrum is your Fourier transform. You see, what is this? Frequency domain. Power spectrum nothing else than your Fourier transform. So when you discuss about your Fourier transform, we have seen we are getting the. So this is basically nothing else your the spectrum Fourier transform of this, because when we do the Fourier transform for the rectangular pulse, what we get? We get the sinc function, and this is the sinc function, and on change over there in the sinc function we are taking the modulus of the sinc function, because in the sinc function if you see there will be a negative portion will be there, but in this figure there is a no negative portion. When we calculate the power spectrum density, we normally it is the we take the modulus of that Fourier transform of this term, so it will become the positive. Okay, so bipolar.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there was DC component, right?
Where
DC component is there already. I mean, zero frequency.
zero frequency, you see that this is in the zero frequency, that power spectrum density was saying what is the value of this. This is the amplitude of that value, no? The DC component, if we calculate, okay. So in this case, suppose you have a waveform like this, and if you want to calculate what is your DC power or DC voltage. Suppose x-axis is your voltage, y-axis x-axis equal to time, y-axis equal to your voltage. Now, if we have this waveform and we want to calculate what is the DC voltage or DC power, so how to calculate? There will be a DC component or not?
Yes, sir. Average.
Okay, average, there will be DC. But in that case, if we do that average, because it is assumption is that 0 and 1, whatever the 0 and 1 is generating from the source, both are equal probability. Both have the equal probability. That means the number of 1 will be generated from a source is equal to the number of 0 is generating from the source. So now if we take the average value of this signal, so definitely there will be no DC component, because this value and this value it will cancel. One is the minus and one is the plus. So DC, there will be no DC component. What is the average value of this waveform or that pulse? Okay, so in that case, there will be no DC component if we take the average value. Okay, so now that we will discuss about the bipolar NRZ. So what is the
Sir,
bipolar?
in that power spectral density also at zero frequency, there should be no magnitude value. No? Why there is a magnitude?
So what is the if we calculate the power spectrum, okay? So you are saying that, yeah, so since there is an amplitude for your 0 when omega equal to 0, that time there is some amplitude. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is that just forget about that anything. You just consider there is a rectangular pulse, single rectangular pulse. What is the power, spectrum for the or Fourier transform of that? If it is in 0 position, so basically this is for your omega, that when we discuss of the power spectrum density, the x-axis is indicating the omega, that means frequency, and this is the your power spectrum density in the y-axis. Basically, what we are doing in the Fourier transform, when we are taking the Fourier transform, basically it will give us the same value. Okay, and the shape, since when there is a, because you see in this pulse, okay, or any pulse over there also, when we take the average value, suppose for when we calculate the power spectrum density, what is the formula? Power
Sir,
spectrum density.
power spectrum density is just G of F mod square, I think. I forgot.
G of F
G of F is
integration
the,
of, okay, you speak.
I mean, G of F is the Fourier transform. Then it's magnitude square.
Okay, magnitude square. So basically, in the magnitude square, when you're taking the magnitude square, so G of F, that means we are doing, when this, in that case, what we are doing? We are doing the modulus of that terms, because there will be not only simply it is a G of F square. Is it simply G of S square?
Modulus square.
Modulus square. So that means what should be the average? Means P power when we calculate the power. What should be the power in that case? Power spectrum density.
So since the average is 0, so there should be no frequency component when omega is equal to 0. There should be no omega is equal to 0. So why we are getting some amplitude? That's
Okay, so when we calculate the DC component, okay, so for that overall there is a no DC component. So that means from this time duration to this time duration. So when we calculating the spectra, DC component or average value, we are getting 0 DC component. But when we calculating this power spectrum density, basically we are considering for a single bits. So now if we consider for the say single bits, this value, so definitely there will be amplitude. So there is a no DC component when we are considering the whole bit sequence. Are you getting that? For this waveform, when you calculating these terms, that average power or DC component, so that time we are getting the no DC component for the whole waveform. But when that in this spectrum, what is given, the it is the spectrum for a single rectangular pulse. So this is the rectangular pulses for this block. So in this block there is a DC component is there, na? For a single pulse.
Yes, sir. I mean, so you are saying that this is the power spectral density of the single pulse.
So basically when we discuss about the power spectrum density, we are considering it is not we are calculating for the whole pulse. We just concentrate on that, and if you see the power density spectrum formula, basically that gives us the your Fourier transform of that terms, your Fourier transform of that expression, and which is the real part. Okay. So real part we normally consider, and this is when, because you see, if you see the Fourier transform of a rectangular pulse, this is a sig function. Function, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And what is the center of that sig function? It is at 0.
Yes, sir.
So that's we are getting over there, the power spectrum density for a pulse.
Okay, so then it's, I think, fine.
And thing is, okay. So, and so now this next one is there, bipolar energy. So in this bipolar energy, there are 3 levels. So in normal polar, there are 2 levels, and in bipolar, there are 3 levels is there. What are those levels? Plus A, 0 and minus A. So plus A indicating, plus A and minus A both are indicating for 1, and 0 is indicating for the your 0 bits. Okay, and it is also known as the alternative mark inversion. So AMI. Okay, so in the alternative mark inversions, what we are doing, suppose for the first one, if we represent the first one with the positive A, whenever the next one will come, we will represent by the negative A. And in case of 0, it will be 0, there will be no signal. Okay, again next one, it will be the positive. Again, when the 1 will come, it should be the negative. Is that clear? So for the 1, we are alternatively marking the value plus A and minus A, and for 0, there is no pulse. Okay, so in this case also, there will be no DC component, and in this scheme, the bandwidth requirement, which is also less than the unipolar or polar energy, and there is a no signal dropping problem is there. So these are the advantage. Disadvantage, same, there are no clocking component and no correction capability, or the error, there is a limited correction capability, and that limited capability is your single on bit correction we can do. Okay, so this is the bipolar RZ, and in the case of RZ, similar to the RZ concept. So basically, it will come to 0 at the middle of your bit symbols duration, and if we consider the plus A for the on first one, the next one it will be the minus A. Same pattern we are following over there. Okay, so these are the advantage and disadvantage already discussed, and in that case, the limited error connection capability it has. Okay, next one is the Manchester or biphase splitting phase. Okay, so what we are do by this, basically, whenever we discuss about the Manchester coding, so normally for the Manchester coding, one symbols we use for representing 1, and there is another symbol is used for representing 0. So the symbols is to representing 1, what do it do? It will start from the positive A value and after half bit duration it will goes to minus a value, then it will continue up to the end of the bit duration. Okay, so that means for 1 we are representing the symbols like that, and for 0 it starts from minus a and it will end at the plus a, like this. Okay, so basically, and where is the transition? Transition will be there at the middle of the each symbol's duration. Okay, so basically in this case what we are doing, we are dividing the symbols into two levels, and one is the for the first level, if we are sending 1 for the first half time duration, that means first ts by 2 time, that value will be a. For the next ts by 2 time, the value will be minus a. And for when we are sending 0 symbols, and for the first ts by 2 time, there will be minus a, and next ts by 2 time, there will be plus a. So in this pattern we are doing the so we are shaping the waves for the different bits. Is that clear? Okay, so what are the advantages over there? No DC component, no signal dropping problem is there, and easily we can synchronize the waveform. So in that case, we can synchronize the waveform. Okay, and disadvantage, the higher bandwidth is required. Okay, no error correction capability. So next one is the, okay, this is the one examples we have. So Manchester, basically it's also form of the binary phase shift king. So when we discuss about the binary phase shift king, that time we'll see we are getting this type of waveform. And it is also referred as the self-synchronous data stream. Okay. So now differential Manchester. So for the differential Manchester, what is there? Normal Manchester we have seen. Okay, that the thing that I told over here, normally when we considering the 1, that time the plus value we are taking. So that means the thing is that the shape you are considering for the line coding can be interchange. Interchange in that means, so suppose for over in this figure, for 1 we are representing the symbols like that, but if we want to take these symbols as a 0, we can do that for the Manchester coding. Okay, is that clear? That thing, it is not necessary that always for 1 it will be always from started from the positive value and goes to the negative value. For 1 also it can start it from the negative value and it can end at the positive value. So whatever the symbols we will take for 1, we will take the opposite thing for the 0. Okay, so basically in this case you can see how they are representing. The figure is representing by the 0. For the 0 we started from plus value and we end with the minus value, and for 1 we have started from the minus value and we end with the plus value. So this is the, suppose these are the sequence, and normal Manchester, or we are getting the waveform look like this. There is no problem. Okay, so now the second is the differential Manchester. So in the differential,
how that signal drooping problem was removed.
signal
Dropping problem.
signal dropping problem is that here you see, since there is a AC component is there, so what will happen? As I told, for the normal your unipolar energy, there is a low frequency AC component. So if there is a low frequency AC component and there will be AC coupling will be there, so that means there will be some energy, because when it transmitting through the channel, what will happen due to the DC or distortion, so there will be a attenuation will be there. So because you see, suppose we are sending one over there, this value is over there. Now till we are going to 0, then next one again on there is a 1. So it will not starting from the over there, because due to the AC coupling over there. Really, it should again started from here. When it will come this position, end of this bid 1, so it should start from the 1, but due to the AC coupling, it is not started from this point. It is continuously starting from the previous point whenever it is ended. Okay.
What is AC coupling?
What?
What is AC coupling, sir? Can you explain?
So, Achal, just tell me, since you have in 410 the normal AC coupling, what is the mutual inductance or mutual capacitance?
Due to two inductances which interact with each other.
So AC coupling, there is a AC component is there, and so in this AC coupling, what will happen? So basically, when a signal is passing through the AC signal, suppose there is a AC signal is there, and we are passing through the some connection, and there is also DC component is there. We have seen for the RZ. We also seen there is a DC component for your unipolar system. Okay, so basically, if we the coupling means, if you want to understand what is the meaning the coupling, so basically it is patch up two module, means how the two symbols are patch up together, like your suppose there is a two wire is going. Okay, so one wire is going like this, another is like this. They are just touch each other. So that means we can say they are coupled, or they are coupled to each other. So that means this is called the coupling, and AC coupling is there when there is a two AC signal. Suppose there is a two AC signal is there. So that type of coupling or gathering will be there, or merging of two signal, and it will generate the means due to the AC signal. When the coupling is happening, it is called the AC coupling. Actually, just tell me one thing. Suppose there are two wire, and they are conducting wire, and from one wire current is following, and second wire there is no current. There is no current flow through the second wire, and the first wire there is a current flow through the wire. So in that current flow, if this two wire is conducted, is there any possibility to pass some current to the second wire? Just tell me that thing, that if we two wire is connected and current is flow through a wire and other wire there is no current. So is there any a current will goes from the first wire to second wire?
So if current in first wire is changing,
Wire is changing, so that means there is a coupling. So that means when there is a AC component and suppose in the signal both AC and DC component is there. So in this signal, the AC coupling basically when both things are there, in the AC coupling, it will allow the passing, we can say the passing the AC signal, and DC it will block the, suppose it blocks the DC, because since it is blocking the DC, so that's why it is not reaching that point. So DC component, when there is a no DC component, whatever the signal is there, so it will suppose on oscillator is there, okay, it is suppose reducing the value in oscillator, and we are not applying any DC component over there, so there is a no possibility to increase the amplitude, so it will constantly continuously it will decrease. Okay, so now in the AC coupling, when the AC coupling is happening between two consecutive bits, what it is doing, it is removing the DC component from there. Since it is removing the DC component, only AC component will be there, and AC component, see this is the AC component. Okay, this portion, whatever the portion, this is the AC component. Okay, so now AC component, so in this point, when it is reaching this point and there is a no DC coupling is there, and that means we are not adding up the DC value with these consecutive symbols, so it will not reach at that point, and due to the AC coupling, it will continuously, it will start from this point, the signal shaping, because we are using some circuits over there to make this kind of symbols or waveforms. Okay, is that okay? Okay, so in this case, and the differential transistor, what we are doing, so whatever the symbols you will consider for your zero, okay, if there is a one, suppose we are starting any sequence, you can take either from starting from here or here. Suppose according to this figure, they started from here. So it is similar to your normal transistor, but there is only one difference. Whenever there is a one, in that case, symbol will continue from the previous position. And if there is a zero, there is a no change of the waveform. Means there is a no transition. Okay. So normally we have seen that in case of transistor, transition happened at your middle of this point. Previous figure, the transition is happening normally at the center of his symbol period. So in that case, when there is a one, it is forcefully there is a transition, and if there is a any symbols is zero, there is a no transition at the starting of the symbols. Is that clear? So that means whenever there is a one, there is a transition, and definitely transition means if it is in the positive point, so it will goes to the negative. If the value is your negative point, then it will goes to the positive. Okay, so look at these examples. So now in this case, suppose instead of zero, if it is 1, so what will be the value? Means waveform. Suppose 1 0 1 0. In that case, what will happen? This point will goes to there, and it will be look like this. Okay. So that means whenever the 0, there will be no transition at the beginning of the symbols. If there is a 1, then there will be a transition. Okay. So basically, this is the comparison for the power spectrum density for different type of line coding, polar, bipolar, and Manchester. Okay. So this is the comparison between the different type of line coding. So when I just go through it, it is not that much difficult. Okay.